Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is part 2 of Foes in My Own Household. Now, when I left off, the video cut short. Now, 15 minutes ain't enough to explain this problem that's going on within the earth. We have brother against brother, sister against sister, mother against father, mother against daughter, father against son. The Most High prophesied this. And I don't want the video to cut short and people misconstrue and misunderstand what the Most High is trying to say when it left off, when it said, if any man love his mother and his father more than me, he don't love the Most High. I have to sincerely explain this, because this is something Christians and Bible thumpers try to pick up and try to use to say, well, what this couldn't be true. What kind of person would say that put your mother in? See, this sounds crazy to you, but when you're in this walk, it sounds delightful. You understand that you might have to put somebody down if they don't if your mother is saying, hey son, you're not my son anymore if you don't eat pork on Christmas Day with me, if you don't eat the Christmas ham with me on Christmas, you're not my son anymore. Well, mom, I might not have to be your son anymore because I'm not eating Christmas ham on Christmas, a pagan holiday, which we can't even prove to be real within the scriptures. It'll be blasphemy against the Most High. It'll be like a dog, like coming back and eating our own vomit, and that's something I can't do. If your father came up with something and said, hey son, I want you to do this, and they went against your faith and your morals and your beliefs, then we don't do it. Now we're going to go back and read this. We're going to go back and read this, because I don't want people to get this misunderstood. We're going to read, I was at Matthew 20, what was that? Matthew 36. I'm going to start at 35. For I have come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall they come from his own household. And he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. We're going to stop right there. You got to lose yourself and be reborn again to find Yahshua HaMashiach, or a.k.a. Jesus Christ. The way these Christian churches teach you how to love the Most High is not proper. It's not proper. The Most High said you got to die for his sake. And he don't mean you have to go out and kill yourself. No, he said you have to let go of your old ways and your old self and be renewed again and relearn and wean from the milk. But people misconstrue this in the Christian church. They say, how could somebody say, leave your father? If you read the scriptures, Yeshua left his mother and had her looking for him. Because it's not about all of that. He said he said about my father's business. He didn't have time to sit and play son with her and mother all day. He had work to do. The kingdom was at hand, and the kingdom needed to be saved. And he knew his job, and he knew what he had to do, and he had a short amount of time to do it. And he didn't care who toes and who feelings he stepped on. Yahshua was going to handle his father's business. And people need to understand this about us. We don't care how you feel. We don't care how you feel when it comes to family and loved ones and everybody else. Because we know our foes are going to come of our own household. We know how Satan has the ability to get into our family members and have them do things that's out their characteristics, to say things that's out their characteristics. But we shall remain strong and go through that fire. You don't understand how deep a man's faith and belief is until you test it and see. You cannot break this. Now, as I was saying, the child of the flesh is going to always battle with the child of the spirit. The flesh is going to always battle with the spirit. Let's go to Galatians. Let's go to Galatians. The flesh is going to always battle with the spirit. The flesh cannot inherit the kingdom. So it's going to do everything it can to get the spirit to not inherit the kingdom with it. They said misery loves company. There go your example right there. Now, we going to Galatians. We going to Galatians because there's not many people who speak on the flesh versus the spirit. I think people think that the Most High does certain things and this is their time. You know, I'm gonna touch over that about how the Most High doesn't just do everything and how everything, he doesn't just test you all the time. Galatians for y'all. Stop talking. Galatians 5 and 16. Galatians 5 and 16. Sorry about the delay. All kind of stuff with the scriptures. Okay. Galatians 5 and 16, brothers and sisters. Sorry about the delay. Pages stuck together. Alright. Galatians 5 and 16. And I'm going to read. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary, and the one of the two the other. They're contrary to one to the other. So that you cannot do the things that you would. I'm going to read that again. Because I took a long time because there needed to be a drum roll for you to hear that. I'm sorry. Elohim had to do that. I'm going to read that again. From the top. Then I say then, walk in the spirit. Ye shall not fulfill, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of spirit, ye are not under law. Now, the works of the flesh are manifest, and these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variances, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envying, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. We're going to stop right there because that's a lot of things of the flesh. That's a lot of things of the flesh that you don't have to be under the law of the flesh is what the scripture says. It's not saying you have to follow the laws like people try to say in these Christian churches. It's saying if you have the spirit, you're not under the laws of the flesh, which makes you do all of those things I just read off. Murdering, envy, and every other bad thing that's under the sun. If you stay in the spirit, you don't have to worry about the flesh conquering you. This is a battle of flesh and blood. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that verse. This is a battle of flesh and blood. We don't fight against flesh. We're the spirit. We have other ways of defeating the flesh through the word of testimony. The flesh, as you see, the flesh is trying to pull the spirit down. So every time you got to understand this is a battle. And it's been a battle from the jump, from Adam and Eve, to Cain and Abel, even in the heavens with Yeshua and Hashatan, Esau and Jacob, Isaac and Jacob. This is why all of these nations conspired against us. Because they knew we were the child of the spirit and they were the child of the flesh. And they didn't want to follow the laws and get up under us. So they remain children of the flesh, and the Hashatan shall rule over them, as you see I read in the story of Cain and Abel. When he allowed Hashatan to rule over him. Anybody who chooses the flesh over the spirit, Hashatan will rule over you. The flesh cannot be fed. The flesh continues to eat. It continues to eat and continues you to sin. It will never be satisfied. It's like an unthankful woman. It will never be satisfied. So you people can keep trying to feed the flesh. All you're doing is making the flesh more hungry and hungry so you can consume more and more of what's not good for you. Be modest and control yourself. This is why the scriptures say be sober-minded. The flesh will kill you. The flesh will be the reason why a lot of people and a lot of brothers and sisters won't make it into the kingdom. Because they cannot tame their flesh. These is facts. The flesh causes people to do a lot of things. Then people want to blame this on the Most High. And I'm glad I said it, because I got to get this scripture to leave out. Because people like to blame stuff on the Most High. And say, well, I did that because the Most High, he wanted me to do that. And that's a lie. That's a lie. Now, people want to do fleshly things and blame the Most High. Or they'll blame Hashatan, which I don't have a problem with. But still, you're not taking responsibility of what you did. You're not taking responsibility. You let the spirit go away, and you chose to serve the flesh. This is what happens. It's a short moment that you have to take control of. You can't let in that hour of temptation that the scriptures talk about. You cannot be defeated in that hour of temptation. You cannot. This is our fight. And I don't want to be wrong with the scriptures and look at it, so I'm searching this scripture so I can give it to you brothers for y'all go out. Okay, it's James. Let's go to James. Let's go to James chapter 1, verse 13, I believe. Because we going to kill this God made me do it, the devil made me do it. No. With these series of videos, I want people to know that this is a battle between flesh and spirit. And we must win. We cannot. The Most High has given us all these days. He's given us grace. He's given us all these days to conquer and master the flesh and to serve Him. And that's what we must do. That's all man is here for, is to serve God and follow His commandments. We are here to serve Yah and follow His commandments. Everything else is vanity. Let's go to James chapter 1. Where we going to start at? We're going to start at verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive a crown of life, which the Elohim have promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yah, for Yah cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and is enticed. And then when lust have conceived and bring forth sin, when it is finished, bring forth death. I'm going to stop right there. That's exactly what happened in the garden with Adam and Eve. They let sin come in, she let sin come in, and it brought forth death. That's exactly what happened with Cain and Abel. The Most High told him, if you let the Hashatan, then he gonna rule over you. And he let death come in. He let sin come in, and they brought forth death. This is deep. So, with that being said, let no man say that the Most High is tempting them. Yeah, he tested the character, man. As you see, he pits wages. He can do that thing as you see in Job, but he's not. He's not tempting man to sin. He can tempt a man's righteousness. He can test and see if you truly love him, as he did with Abraham and Isaac, as he did with Job, and many other, as he did with King David and many other stories within the scriptures. But he's not tempting man to sin. That's man enticed by his own flesh and his own imagination. As Eve was when the devil, all he had to do was tempt her. That's why he's called the tempter in the story when he tempted Yeshua. He tempted Eve. Don't fall for the hour of temptation, people. That's all I'm doing these videos for. Don't fall for the hour of temptation. And don't fall for the cons the devil puts and the spirits and the evil the devil uses, your family and whoever uses pawns to put this evil spirit in to come against us. I'm Base Jerusalem. This is the Hebrew Life. Shalom, brothers and sisters.